All right, Pastor, we're back again for the PaulCast. I mean, we've had a wild ride of guests lately here on the Paul Begley podcast. So we figured we would do maybe, I can't play the music, but back to life, back to reality.
Oh, who sings that?
I don't know, some old R&B song. But
Yeah, I mean, we've been out there the last couple, the last one, But, we got great feedback from every one of the guests we've had.
Yeah.
Jonathan Womack was the furthest guy out there, but real nice guy, guy, and he very sincere. And there were people who commented and said that they really enjoyed it, and they could see the faces. I'm sorry. I could kind of make out a couple faces.
Yeah.
I strained at it, but he's
very hard.
Seen a lot of levels, but maybe he sees at different levels. And that's, he's a visionary.
I mean, before we started recording that, I was talking to him. I was like, trying to visualize it the way that you visualize it almost reminded me of when they had remember those magic eye book? And you have to get it real close to your face. But he kind of looked at me like, no, that's not how that works. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'm just way off base, but.
All right. Anyway, we're back. We're back to reality.
We've been exploring a little bit Theoba prophecy, and but that's the thing about this podcast is it's really a variety show, honestly.
That's why we do that, because we want to keep you interested, the audience. We want to keep you interested in a variety of things.
Yeah,
because if you thought about it, we'll talk about it.
Exactly,
and that's
every time.
But
we don't want to get all the, we don't want to stay out there on a spaceship the whole time. So
no.
So today on the PaulCast here, so it's October, it's the end of October. Halloween is on Friday. And then actually we recorded this Friday night, last Friday night. So the webinar is live.
Yes.
Right now. So as we're speaking, actually it went live right before we started recording this.
Yeah. Yep.
Powerful webinar. If you're over here on this channel and you haven't found Pastor's main the main channel for Paul Begley Prophecy, the link is below for the webinar. That'll take you straight to the website and actually be able to order that webinar on there. But Pastor, tell us about some of the powerful presentations on there.
Powerful. I mean, Mike from the World, this was the best interview. Okay, look.
You got a little dog. The dog might have to make an entrance.
She made an entrance in my last YouTube video. Go see Mom. Time out.
Yep.
She is tired of me working all day with nonstop. She's tired of me working all day nonstop. She's thinking, you should be done. It's over. Why aren't you sitting down in the living room? Why aren't we watching TV, eating snacks? Her little snacks.
Yeah.
But anyway, the podcast is great. I mean, we had Mike from the World. It was I've interviewed Mike from the World every week for 13 years. And this was the best interview of him I've ever done.
Wow.
Part of it is because he reveals his identity in this webinar. Who he is, not his name, but who he is.
Right.
And it's incredible. And then you really begin to realize why he has been involved in intelligence, special ops, why he understands multi-cultures. You really get an understanding about where he's coming from.
Right.
And he's highly intelligent. And then, and that's why he was recruited into the intelligence world. So, yeah, really good. And then Brandon Biggs giving an incredible interview with Brandon Biggs. He's the prophecy guy. I mean, this guy literally saw a vision of Donald Trump being shot in the right ear, with blood splattering his face and falling to his knees. And he did a video about it in November of 23, telling everybody what he saw. And then the exact thing he saw happened in July of 24, 8 months later. So when that happened, I mean, his channel blew up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So I interviewed him for an hour, and he shares visions and tells me of things he has seen that he believes is coming. And in detail, he gives these visions. And man, you better watch every asteroid.
Right.
And then there's one more, and that would be John, the AI expert.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a guy that is absolutely tapped in. He's a friend of Elon Musk. He's worked for Sam
Altman.
Yeah. He's done work for him. He's done work for everybody in the tech world. He knows what AI is doing. He knows how it's evolving. And so in this interview, he explains the evolution of what AI, where it's at and where it's going. And it is scary.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's just the three guys. I mean, there's a whole lot more in this.
So I just got my link for the webinar, so I'm going to be binging all weekend.
Yeah.
But you guys are watching this on the following Tuesday. It's still available.
Yep.
It's always going to be available for you to go on there and purchase at paulbegleyprophecy.com.
You're in it too, because there's a couple interviews that we did that you're in it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you mentioned asteroids, Pastor, and I wanted to talk a little bit about 3i Atlas. So just recently, there was an amateur astrologer who, I'm going to share the video here of it. I watched the video. I don't love it, but maybe if you are a little more familiar with looking at images through telescope, to me, it's kind of like when we were doing the infinity art theory, honestly. It's kind of hard for me to see what's going on, but maybe it's because I just don't have enough knowledge of it. Let's see here. So let's see. Can you see the video?
The amateur astrologer or amateur astronomer is out of Thailand. Now, we were told by NASA that you cannot see this comet or whatever it is. It's not a comet. No, it's not acting at all like a comet. You can't see it from Earth, so don't even worry about it. We'll let you know.
So
that's what we were told. So here we go.
And I'm sure if you're watching the podcast, you've seen our interview also with Dr. Avi Loeb about 3i Atlas. But we kind of haven't covered it very much. We're kind of just seeing the progression of it. And what we're showing here right now is this astrologer. He's speaking about the images that he's showing you, and he's showing the actual telescope he's using. And I think, let me give him a little bit of volume here.
The solar limb, it's the edge of the sun. Now we will go to 3i Atlas. Let me try to access NASA. Hopefully it's not down to get the precise coordinates. Man, it feels like with all that wind, it feels like something is going to happen. It's crazy. Let's copy the coordinates. Let's see the movement of the telescope. Go to.
Okay, so he's positioning the telescope where NASA had the coordinates of 3i Atlas on here.
Right.
Eyes. I don't see anything. No artifact like the stingray. Remember that what I'm doing is something that people don't do. So I have no reference how to do this with the solar telescope. Solar telescopes are used only exclusively to watch the sun. So what I'm doing is something new. Let me invert the colors. This is the position of 3i Atlas right now. It can be this.
Okay, yeah. So let me pause it here.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The imaging that he gets, I mean, it's something on there, and he goes on to describe like, the pretty much the gray filter that you're seeing is because they're using this during the daytime. So they have it positioned at the sun. So that's kind of going to be the imaging that they get there. Let me give him a little bit more volume. But you can see an image on there.
We'll wait. It can be this. It can be this, guys. 3i Atlas, something here, and then the coma. This will fit.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. I'm pointing that telescope that you see in the upper right side of the screen. It's pointing very, very... it's almost touching the sun. That's why this is so bright today.
There you go.
That's right.
And to the position that NASA has on the coordinates of 3i Atlas right now. I'm trying to... Look now. You see the dot here?
It's right there.
And something around?
That's the coma. It's very difficult to see because
this should be a glare, man. It has
the sun. There it is.
Here, like some. It's very faint, man.
It's because of the brightness of the sun. The sun's out brightening it, and it's also I don't know how many millions of miles away.
Right.
But he's good enough with a remote control robotic telescope, that he knows how to read coordinates, that he was able to get a glimpse of this thing. And see, you have to understand, NASA said you cannot see it from the Earth. We'll only be the ones that see it by using the James Webb telescope and the Hubble. Right. And when we get the picture, we'll let you know. And then NASA shut off their cameras. And the conspiracy theories are going. I mean, we had Avi Loeb. You and I, we interviewed Avi Loeb. And Avi said, look, it's not acting like a comet at all. It's 4 times faster than any comet. It don't have a tail. It has a light in the front, like a headlight, which that's insane because it's too far from the sun. It's too far from the sun to get a reflection. So how does it have a light shining? And then I saw later that he said a comet releases 50% nickel and 50% iron. That's what it emanates. This one is 90% nickel and 10% cyanide. No iron.
Right.
So what in the world is it? And then you shut the cameras off. You say, well, that's because of Schumer shutdown. And don't worry about it. We'll tell you about it later. And then some dude in Thailand saying, whoa, but I see something. I see that's the coordinate. There it is.
Right.
So what are we dealing with here?
Well, I don't know if I feel like if anybody knows what we're actually dealing with. I mean, it goes back to the discussion of disclosure. Are we gonna show people, or are we gonna hide it from people? We're gonna make a distraction. But I think the bigger story here is, why did they shut the cameras? Is this part of the government shutdown? And
they're blaming it on this government shutdown. That's what they're saying. You're telling me we have an object coming from some other galaxy that's the rarest thing ever, and we're going to just shut the cameras off because Schumer shut the government down? And how convenient to shut the... And this is where a lot of conspiracies, because you got people saying, dude, this is Planet X.
Right.
They shut the government down to hide this thing. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I'm getting from some of the conspiracy theorists. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy realist. But I mean, in reality, why do we shut the government down? And even if you do, why do you shut the camera off? It's the most important discovery in the history of humanity.
Yeah, I don't know why you would shut the camera on. You don't actually need anybody physically there to operate the camera being on.
No, that dude, he's operating his camera from his bedroom, and the camera's on the outside of his deck. We got the Hubble. We got the Hubble telling. We got the James Webb. They're operating on their own. AI's running the whole system. Why would you shut the camera off?
Right. It's the government. The blaming everything on a government shutdown is the most convenient excuse for the government. But honestly, I had to look before we started doing this. I had to look up on Google. I said, "Is the government still shut down?" Because I haven't noticed any difference.
There's no difference. Now, the problem's going to be the 1st of November when the military is supposed to be paid.
Yes.
I am understanding that somebody gave $120 million donation to privately pay all the military on the 1st of November. Okay. And I'm sure the government's going to reimburse whoever that was. I mean, they're not going to just stick this guy with $120 million hit. I mean, and there's some other people that may not get paid. I'm worried about, the air traffic controllers and, and some of these guys. Who's watching the nukes? These people are getting paid. You don't just say, sorry, dude, you're watching the nukes for the United States, but we can't pay you.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's also,
they're not emptying the trash at the national parks.
Well, I mean, how much money did we give to Ukraine? Am I going to get in trouble for saying that?
No, this is a podcast. I know. I mean, you can say how much money did we give to Ukraine?
Okay, yeah, it was just a question, right? So how much money did we give to Ukraine, but you didn't keep a reserve just in case the government shut down for longer than it shuts down every year for, to pay your civil servant employees and military? But no, when every time Zelensky comes, you just write it a blank check. We had how long did that war last? Okay, let's see. About three solid years with Biden. And every time the guy asked for money, here's a blank check.
He said, well, how much you want?
How much you need? You want more? We'll make an accounting error.
Let's bump it up, double it. Let's send it to him.
But
and then Trump is saying, hold it a minute. This dude comes in, he don't even wear a suit. This is the White House, dude. What are you showing up in here in a sweatshirt? He almost didn't even let him in the door. Okay, because
I wouldn't.
Yeah, Trump's like, this is the United States. I am the president of the United States of America. This is the White House. Nobody comes through that door without a suit on.
Right.
You gotta have some respect.
You're better dressed than he is right now.
And I'm wearing a Peyton Manning jersey. And that's making the Denver Bronco fans mad.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
I'm wearing a Peyton. The Colts are 5-1 or 6. What are the Colts? We're not there yet. We'll talk about sports. I'm better dressed. I'm better dressed right now than Vladimir Zelensky. But you're right. Biden just wrote a blank check, and he didn't even know how much he wrote. And he said, "Make sure, guys, give him more." And that's never going to get paid back. Well, oh no, I'm wrong. It did get paid back. Part of it came back to the Democrat Party during it funded the election for the Democrats. So I mean, that's huge. What do you got?
Yeah, that's ridiculous to try to say we're not going to pay, our federal employees. We didn't keep a reserve, but we send money everywhere else across the world for nation building. But I wanted to show you this, Pastor, because even though the government is shut down, there's paid actors that are still funding the No Kings protest. So, which is ridiculous. That was another distraction. You can't even read this here, but this is a long list of I wonder if I could zoom in on that, of No Kings protesters, but specifically
they paid people. Okay, here we go.
Here's specifically the funding network. Warren Buffett. Over $16 million. Rockefellers, $28 million. George Soros, $72
million for these protests.
Yep.
The No Kings.
This is for the No Kings protest that they put on again.
It cost them $294 million for a No Kings protest.
Well, yeah, because they had to pay everybody, because nobody was actually out there doing that. Did you see any of that in the villages? Probably not. But
there was a little small group of about 50 people, and they made them stand on one side of the road on a roundabout, and the sprinklers came on while they were up. Okay, no, seriously, I'm not joking. Somebody pushed the button. There's 50. There's 179,000 seniors that live in the villages. Okay.
Right.
Of which probably 170,000 are retired. A lot of them military, ex-police officers from New York City. A lot of people that business owners and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
50 people were standing in the grass on the roundabout, one of the roundabouts over here, with little signs, no kings, hate Trump, this kind of stuff, with their little golf carts. And they were standing out there, and while they're standing out there with their signs, the sprinkler systems came on and just drowned them. Okay. I mean, they had to stay. And those sprinklers were not supposed to come on. It's the only sprinklers that came on. There was no other sprinklers anywhere. So, somebody pushed the button.
Yeah. All right. So a little different demographic over there in the villages for the No Kings protest. Yeah, last year they did it, and I was living in Virginia. We were in Norfolk area, and we drove by Old Dominion University. So now there you go. That's a perfect demographic to pay actors, because a lot of those kids, either don't have a job or they're freelancing or whatever as students. And, who cares? Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, $50. Cool. I'll hold the sign, dude.
For 2 hours, I got to hold the sign. Sure, I can do it.
Yeah.
And half of them didn't show up. It still got paid.
Oh, that was a pretty big one, but it's college campus. It's easier to
easy
to drive out. But over here,
yeah.
Well, over here, I saw it, the Bremerton area. Okay, and I'm driving by, and I probably see 50 people. But I was looking real close at them just to understand the demographic.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those people had an actual job or anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that?
No. The people who were protesting, and they said, now this is the numbers. The media said there were 7 million people who participated across the nation. Okay.
That's it? That's more than what voted for Harris, though, right?
7 million. No, Harris got a few more votes than him. 7 million out of 350 million American citizens plus 20 million illegals. Okay, so that's a different story. 7 million people. And in 2,700 locations. Now, I didn't take a calculator and divide it.
Oh, I can do it right now.
Can you do this?
Oh, yeah. 7 million.
7 million divided by 2,700 organized paid actor protests.
Okay, that would be an average of 2,592 and a half people.
Okay.
But that's not what we saw.
That's not who showed up. That's what they're reporting that showed. I think that's the number of people they paid. That is not. I would say it was half that. If they got 3 million people across the entire nation, they're doing good. I saw they were posting online Trump rallies crowds and saying this was the No Kings rally.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were doing all kinds of photoshopping, and they was trying to make red hats look green, and they were taking signs that said, Trump, God bless America, make America great again. And they were changing it to saying, I hate America. I don't know, all kinds of weird stuff. This was the joke of all jokes. And I'm thinking to myself, this is pitiful. That's a very low, 7 million out of 350 million is a very low percentage. What is that? 2%, maybe?
Oh, I don't know if my calculator goes that high over here. I got a Casio. Shout out to Casio.
I'm sure it's not even 2%. Maybe 1%.
No,
it's just pitiful. So
that might have been the real. Well, I can't say that on YouTube. I was going to just talk about the landslide 2020 election.
Oh, we can't talk.
I can't talk. But anyway, but speaking of kings, Pastor, King Trump has just started the new White House ballroom. I wanted to show some images of that.
Yeah, do you have this?
And they're very people are very upset about this too. I don't know why, even though the funding is coming from private funders.
All privately done. It's not going to pay the taxpayers will not pay one dime on this. This is all being privately funded. But I haven't seen the blueprint the rendering of what this is supposed to look like.
Well, I'll get you a little bit closer, but I just wanted to show you this is from the White House Twitter here. So this is the new White House ballroom. President Trump breaks ground on the ballroom project and private funding. Even Chelsea Clinton had something negative to say about this, but of course,
why would you?
Here's some images of what it's supposed to look like.
That's beautiful.
I guess the private funders were, big tech, I can't remember. Trump goes on a huge long list about the number of people there that had donated. But this
Probably
is so yeah. So that image there is really what it is supposed to look like once it's finished.
Okay.
But if you listen to CNN and MSNBC, this is what it's supposed to look.
No, that's what they say it's going to look like. The golden Trump Tower connected to the White House. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's not. But it is beautiful. I mean, they are doing a lot of gold and white and gold and
it's classy.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's very cool. That's what he's trying to say. This is the White House. It's time to upgrade a little bit, okay? And if the government doesn't want to do it, fine. I'll go get my friends, a lot of my rich guys, and they'll all want to. And they're probably going to get a plaque somewhere on the wall that says, help donated by, Steve Witkoff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Larry Ellison, Larry Ellison and man, probably Elon Musk is involved. Yeah, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, everybody wants to have a little, and I don't see anything wrong with it, especially if it's privately funded. And give people some credit for who donated to it.
And it's beautiful.
I don't really see what the uproar is unless we just want to say it's pretty. So I also equate that with what we were talking about before with the government shutdown. I think the goal is let's not let Trump get anything done. And then that way, the only thing he can get done is from executive order. And then we can call him a king, even if he's doing something that we all actually wanted anyway.
Yes.
Because it's not about the American people. Whoever, and honestly, both sides are just as bad, Democrat or Republican in whoever's in office. Both sides do this. They don't want to give anybody any credit, even if they're,
even if what they're doing is a good ideal.
Yeah.
I've seen the Republicans do it too, where they'd say, no, we're not going to sign on, and this is bad for the country.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if it's a good ideal and it came from the Democrat Party and it's something it's going to benefit the nation, then as a Republican, you say, yeah, I like it. I'm voting for it. And the same, it should be swung the other way. Now, if it's stupid stuff that, if you're forcing these changes of the core curriculum or you're doing all this other weird stuff.
Oh, man.
Don't get mad when someone says, what? Nobody wants to do that. But when it's something that makes sense, why wouldn't everybody say, yeah, this is good for America. This is good for the country. It's beneficial no matter what it is. And let's do it. If the both sides of the fence, if they would do this together, swinging about 75% of the time, standing with what makes sense, the American public would say, yeah, you know what? I like the way our government functions.
Right.
But now it doesn't function.
Well, and speaking of that, Pastor, the thing that we can all do, and Pastor and I are not paid actors for No King's Protest.
No.
But I would say, and actually nobody told me to say this because nobody sponsors me anyway. So
nobody's saying.
But actually, if you're watching this, Election Day is November 4th. You know what is the most important thing to vote for is for your local leaders. You don't just have these huge, big opinions about bumper stickers I see over here in Washington, free Palestine or whatever. I don't know. It's hard for me to try to understand somebody's philosophy of why are you so concerned with Palestine or a region of the world that you've never been to and you don't vote for your own local elected officials?
Right. Yeah, it don't make sense, does it?
No. Why were you so passionate about someplace you've never been and you probably never will be?
Yeah.
But you don't care about the school board or whoever.
Yeah, you don't care about your local sheriff. You're not worried about who's the mayor of your town. You're not worried about who the school board, the 7 members of the school board. You're not looking. I mean, you have no passion. You have no concern. You don't care. But you're absolutely insanely crazy over this issue in the Middle East. And the thing is, nobody would do that unless you're getting paid.
Right.
That's what we're looking at. This is what we're watching on display.
Wait, I mean, you're getting paid too. So now my dog's bark. You're getting paid to care or act, pose like you care about something that you don't know anything about, and then it just passes on.
My thing is, this is the tearing down of America. What we're witnessing is creating of chaos, creating distortion, creating dysfunction, and rioting and tearing stuff down and saying all this for stuff that doesn't have anything to do with America. It's just how can we break this nation down? How many different ways do we have to attack it till we finally get this empire to crumble? It's crazy. Because the stuff that they're promoting and pushing is counterproductive to the whole country. I mean, and to families and to people's education and
right.
And it's stupid. So it has to be a hidden agenda. There has to be an agenda here that says we really hate America. We're burning the flag, or we won't stand for the flag. We say defund the police. I mean, who in the world would do all that? Who in the world would want to do all that?
The same people that were pushing defund the police are the same people that were, had enough money to be able to go and get a gated community in California.
Absolutely. Does that make sense?
No.
What they're saying
the same people, though.
I don't want to stand for anything that Trump stands for, and
right.
But my community or my neighborhood where I live, I definitely want police protection. I definitely want this, the EMTs. I want the ambulances to run on time. I want everything to be okay for me. I want anybody shooting into my window or my house. I don't,
Right. But I don't need to have a weapon, and I don't want anybody else to have one, but I need to have a gate guard with a weapon to make sure.
So what are you doing? What are they doing? And I know we're not going to get on this, but the wildfires that took place in California last year, and the fire hydrants had no water. When I saw that, I said, "You got to be kidding me." They got fires burning out there. It's not like you don't know California's going to have wildfires. How in the world do you let the reservoirs go dry and they hook up and they turn it on the spigot and there's no water in the fire hydrant? This was the dumbest. This was the most dysfunctional thing of government I have ever seen in my life. And here's the thing. They won't even give these poor people permits to rebuild their homes. People are still applying for permits. They can't get a permit. Their house is sitting there in charred and rubble, and they're sitting there trying to find some place to live and work and they just say, "Can I have a permit, please, so I can start, cleaning this up and building a new house?" They can't get the permits because there's so much bureaucracy and so many people, and there's so many layers and so many folks drawing a paycheck and waiting to push the paper down the street, and nobody knows what's going on. It's dysfunction with a capital D.
Right. Sorry, the dogs are barking.
Yeah, dogs are barking.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Dysfunction everywhere. It's terrible. And, I don't know. I don't want to get on a rant here, but I mean, you almost want to get on a rant because who in the world is running the state of California? Who's running Minneapolis, Minnesota? Who is running Detroit, Michigan? Who in the world is trying to take control of New York City? How far? Does anybody have a clue what's going on in Portland? I'm just saying, I don't want to go on a rant here.
Are you serious?
But who's running California? Who's running Minneapolis, Minnesota? Who's
Pelosi
in charge?
And her grandson.
Who's in charge of Michigan? What's going on in Portland? And by the way, speaking of Portland, then you got Chauncey Billups. I mean, Portland is an absolutely disaster.
Oh, that's true. That was Chauncey.
Hey, they can't even play basketball over there.
Well, let's go to that, Pastor. I got this queued up actually. Here's who is this guy? Christopher Raya. He's just a spokesman.
He's an FBI guy. Right there to the right though is Kash Patel. Yeah.
It's the cash man, huh?
Yeah, that's the head of the FBI right now. And all these other guys are agents.
Yeah, so real quick, though. So let's play this. Only 57 seconds here.
3 of the named defendants are charged for their alleged roles in both schemes. This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity. Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged, and as you just heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This alleged scheme wreaked havoc across the nation, exploiting the notoriety of some and the wallets of many to fund the Italian crime families here in New York.
Wow.
He
is a... Well, let's go to another one here. Who is this lady? I forgot.
She's another FBI agent.
Yeah.
Players and associates allegedly used inside information to manipulate prop bets on major sports betting platforms. They placed wagers on unders on players to score less, rebound less, assist less, using information that was not yet public. In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics.
Wow.
Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. The first case.
Wow.
I mean, here's a guy, Terry Rozier, who's made $176 million in his life in the NBA. Fixing. I mean, no, he didn't. Yeah. Okay, you're going to show some highlights of him?
Sorry about that. Yeah, go ahead. We can watch him fix some of these games. But go ahead, Pastor.
I mean, he's fixing his performance to make sure he doesn't play. Look, that's a terrible pass. Did he really throw that pass? Here he goes.
That one too. This is all the same game.
That's a terrible shot. That's an air ball. That guy's not that bad.
Well, the crazy thing is this happened last year where they
look at that shot right there. Do you really think he's going to shoot that ball? Can't catch a pass. Fumbling
they suspended him or something, I think, last year for gambling, and he was with the Hornets. And then I was like, wait, this guy is still on an NBA roster right now?
Why is he in the game? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, this guy, this is all the same game? Is this the game?
Yeah, this was all the same game.
What kind of a pass was that?
Oh, yeah.
Now let's say, oh my God. Now you're a paying customer of the Miami. Is that the Miami Heat?
That's
the Heat. And they're saying that he did it while he's with the Hornets. Well, it looks to me like he did it with the Heat too.
Yeah, oh yeah. This looks like this guy looks like he's trying out for a 6th grade basketball team right now. If you guys aren't,
shot right there is one of the worst shots. You can't catch a pass. This guy is actually an NBA All-Star at some point in his career. Okay, and you know you know what his salary is for this season? He was to make $23 million this year.
Wow.
Now he's not going to make it because he's not going to be playing this year. He may never.
He may never
step on an NBA basketball floor again. And then Chauncey Billups. I mean, this is sad because Chauncey Billups was a really really good ball player who was the MVP of the NBA Finals and helped the Detroit Pistons win a world championship. And he's in the Hall of Fame. He got elected to the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
And this dude is helping the Gambino crime family fix poker games while you're the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. What are you doing, Chauncey? What are you doing?
It makes you wonder how long this has been going on, though, because the NBA is not what it used to be in the 90s, and NBA on NBC and David Stern. Ever since Adam Silver took over the NBA, no, dog. It's not. They went woke for a couple years, and then, you know what I mean? And then the games don't mean anything anymore. Nobody watches till after the All-Star break anyway.
Yeah, till the playoffs, usually.
Adam Silver's got to go, guys.
He's got to go. He's got to be fired. Adam Silver, you look, and the truth is they arrested 31 people, okay?
Oh, wow.
3 NBA people, 31 total. Now, when they get these guys in a little chair with a light bulb over their head and start telling them what they're getting ready to be, how many years they're going to go to prison, these 31 are going to tell you about who else was involved. That number is going to go from 31 to 100 people. I mean, within 3 months.
Oh, no, I think it would be within 90 minutes.
And you're going to find out that there was more NBA players and coaches involved than just 3. You're going to find out that there was a lot of players and coaches. It's going to hurt them. It's going to be so bad that the NBA owners, the owners, are going to say, hold on a minute, FBI. Hold it. Hold it. Just tell us who they are. We're going to get rid of them. Don't tarnish our product. Don't tarnish our league. This is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. You can't do that to us. We're the owners. Let us fix it. Just tell us who they are, and we will get rid of them. One by one, we will weed them out, and they'll be gone. And that's what I would do if I was an owner. If I'm an owner, I'm saying, we're not involved in this stuff. Let us. Just tell us who they are. Don't worry about the indictments. Just let us ruin these guys. We will get rid of these guys, all of them. We don't care who.
Yeah, they're going to Colin Kaepernick those guys.
Have to. You have to, or you're done. The NBA's done.
Yeah, it's.
Let me tell you something, Drew. You know what? And you and I played basketball. We both watched a lot of NBA games in college.
Oh yeah.
And let me just say, back in the 90s, they played defense.
Yeah.
Mike Jordan had to fight against people. People beat him to death. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley. These people played hard, brutally hard. And the scores were like 97, 92. They weren't 138 to 129.
No.
I mean, people played hard defense. Now, what you have now is, so here's the thing too. I don't know how many NBA games I've watched where a team is up by 25 points. And they lose the game.
Yeah.
How do you blow a 25
in the fourth quarter?
In the fourth quarter, how do you blow a 17-point lead to start the fourth quarter?
And it's not even like a surprise anymore.
No, it happens so much. And here's the thing about illegal. This is legal betting. It's one thing you have the over and the under. It's another thing you have, you know who's going to win the game. But when you start letting people bet, like midway through the second quarter, you can start you can start betting on a guy's don't look like a guy's going to score his normal 22 points. So you can start betting extra that he's not going to make it because you see him when he's only got 6 points at halftime.
Yeah.
Well, I watched a game last night after I got off the air last night at midnight. I went in there and I watched the rest of the game, the Golden State Warriors against the
I watched some of that. I don't know why.
Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
And Stephen Curry had 6 points at halftime. 6 points. You know how many points you had last night when the game was over?
I'm going to guess 36.
40. So if you were betting, that Curry was not going to score 25 points, let's say.
Yeah.
At halftime, you're doubling down. You're tripling down on this. And then all of a sudden this guy goes on a massive run and scores the last 16 points of the game.
Yeah.
And you can't go back and change it now. And you're done. And then Gordon, what's his name? I forgot his first name.
Aaron Gordon.
Nuggets. Aaron Gordon's a decent little ball. He's a decent ball player. He's been around about 8-9 years. He's not the main guy. I mean, we all know the Joker is the main guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Joker. Okay. Gordon is just like a third option. You know how many points first game of the year? You know how many points Aaron Gordon scored last night? I watched it.
Say 30.
50. The dude dropped 50.
Where's the defense? This is not.
How does Aaron Gordon score 50 points and they lost? Aaron Gordon scores 50 and they lost.
But the final score was like 135 to. That's just horrible. Nobody wants to watch that.
They got to get their act together fast at the NBA. They have got to clean this up fast, or they're going to have empty stadiums. Let's hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say about it.
Have I said Trump is coming? He's coming.
And he's going to blame this on Trump?
Again. Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hearing ICE is going to be there, looking to engage in mass deportations. The Super Bowl
is
disrupting things. Big night
Bad
for the
Bunny.
NBA. When Beyonce put on a show, that has now been
opening night was
we're
smeared.
talking
Yeah.
about this story. Okay. Remember, Trump has a long, long history connected to the world of sports because he had those casinos where these folks were coming at you at the time. I'm not talking about individuals, I'm talking about the culture. When people want to go to a casino, people want to game, people want to party, whatever the case may be. This was his kind of connection to that. Well, I'm glad you're here, Monica, because don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list. You've got all of these protests that have been there and people that have been protesting.
Keep going there?
This man is coming. He's coming. I've been saying it for a long time. And to me, this is the latest nugget of evidence that we're talking about right here. That's not to question the legitimacy of the case. We don't know. We're all sitting up here and we're saying that we don't know. But anybody,
Dog, did you see the highlights
around him? Anybody that has talked to him, anybody that has seen his reactions from the sports leagues and the positions that people have taken, they are not surprised at what's going on today. I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen people, we've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law.
And he goes on.
Did he go flat out?
And
I like Stephen A. Smith a lot of times, but not all the time.
You want? Let's hear the rest of him.
Is he saying that Trump?
You don't see the direct.
No, Drew. Is he saying
FBI having a press conference?
Trump is trumping this up against the NBA and against these players? It's Trump's fault.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Everywhere. No, that is what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's going racial here, but he don't want to say it. But he's really playing the race card. He don't want to come out and say it. He might say it by tomorrow. But what he's saying is Trump don't like this league because here's what he's going to say. Because when the NBA finals is over, the NBA champions never come to the White House to shake Trump's hand. Hockey does. Baseball does. The NFL does, even though half their players don't go. But the NBA don't even go. Trump invites them every time. The champion of the NBA, he says, would you like to come? I'd love you to come to the White House. They said, no, we're not going. So what he's saying is Trump is going after these guys, that it's Trump. This is a trumped up charges, tying it to Gambino family. So he's saying that this is Donald Trump coming down on these guys instead of saying, what are these guys doing? Ruining the league.
This is typical.
Oh my God.
MSNBC playbook. Let's hear the rest.
Conference. It's not coincidental. It's not an accident. It's a statement, and it's a warning that more is coming. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, it's as serious as it gets. This ain't the platform for me to get into it the way I'm going to get into it. But I've been saying he's coming. He's coming because in his eyes, folks try to throw him in jail. In his eyes, he's innocent. They try to put me behind bars. I'm getting everybody. He's not playing. And so this, in a lot of people's eyes, talk to people in the NBA, talk to people in the NFL, talk to people in the world of sports. They think this is like the tip of the iceberg. These are the kind of words that are coming out of people's mouths. It's not a surprise. It's very disheartening. It's very concerning.
Disheartening.
We don't know where this is going to go. But this is just the tip of the iceberg.
So he's taking no accountability. He is not letting the NBA or these players who did this no accountability at all. He's going to blame the whole thing on Trump. Oh my God! I can't believe. I really don't.
Well, it's typical. It's typical. Like MSNBC, CNN, ESPN is owned by Walt Disney, which is the wokest thing that's ever woked. So and he's one of ESPN, Disney, and ABC's main guys. So we gotta,
there's no way you can sit there when there's cheating and gambling going on, and you just showed the clip of this guy throwing the most pitiful performance, an all-star making $23 million a year to go out there and fumble around like he's a sixth grader, and then you find out that the coach of the Portland Trailblazers is involved in gambling schemes, and you'll find out there's other players too. And here's the thing: for him to say it's Trump's fault, Trump's coming after these guys. No, you can't blame that on Trump. These people are throwing games. These people are. I mean, are you serious? I can't believe Stephen A. Smith went there. Where's the accountability of what is the NBA? Why didn't you go after Adam Silver? I mean,
all you have to do is just watch this. All you have to do is watch this clip that I'm showing you. It's obvious. This guy's not really that bad, guys. There are high schoolers that are better than what.
I'm not. I can tell you.
This looks like he's trying out for a sixth grade team.
He's getting ready to take a jump shot for three. Okay. He's not going to shoot an air ball every time he takes a shot. He's not going to dribble the ball between somebody's legs. He's not going to make terrible, blind, just blatant passes, wide open. And in the same game, time after time after time, you're telling me this is how he played that night? And
why does the coach still have him in the game?
That's another question. That's what I'm saying. How deep will this go? Now, but Stephen A. Smith, who's the highest paid sportscaster in the world, he makes $11 million a year. Okay.
Well,
but because he did this, his voice is powerful. And so what he just did is say, there's nothing to see here. This is just Trump going after the NBA. These guys, they're trumping up these charges, they're making a big deal out of this. There's nothing here to see. And he's saying, so when you see more when the dominoes start to fall, he's saying it's all Trump. Trump's mad because they tried to throw him in prison. It's Trump's fault. No, Trump had nothing to do. Where's the accountability? They're gambling in the games. They're throwing games. They're point shaving their own performances so that they can make money, and so other people they know can make $200,000-$300,000 in a night. Why would you do that if you're making $23 million?
In Stephen A. Smith's heart, he didn't believe what he just said.
No,
he's got a save face for ESPN. ESPN just took all the contracts from TNT. They're NBA. They're all in on NBA.
Yep. He's trying to say
he's got to put the blame somewhere else. He can't let the league crumble.
He can't. That's right. He can't let the league crumble, because if he does, ESPN crumbles with it. And he crumbles
at the end. Yeah, because it's sad to say, But at the end of the day, it's all about money.
Well, let me tell you something, how this all plays out, though. If he and Disney take this position, and there's a bunch more players and get arrested, and Disney and ESPN, and they take that position, Drew, do you ever go to an NBA game?
No.
Okay. If he takes this and if he plays that hand, they'll empty the stadium. They won't come.
Mm-hmm.
He better be very careful. They might be better off taking accountability for the people who were cheating and clean this thing up and fire Adam Silver.
Yeah,
and if they would do that, the fans and the people would say, you know what? I'm glad the NBA took a stand on this, clean this up, because I like the NBA, but I can't deal with it. But if they take this position that we didn't do nothing, we ain't nothing to see here, and it's Trump, and it's and you play that hand, and the people sense it that you're playing that hand against them, those fans will quit paying for those tickets. The stadiums will be half empty. They'll have to drop ticket prices down to $50 and $60 a game instead of $160 and $260 a game. They better be very careful how they play this. I'm telling you. The NFL learned their lesson. When they went woke, they come a hair going broke, and they changed. All of a sudden, you got the American flag. All of a sudden, it's the American flag now at every NFL game is half the field. They're waving it. They got Marines walking everywhere. They got, Veteran Day. Because they all of a sudden woke up and realized, whoa.
Yeah, but the NBA never did. They just kept going. They just kept going.
They better not play this hand. I'm telling you.
Hey, if that's what the owners want and the commissioners want, you'll see. You'll see how it's going to work out. But because, the clips that we just showed, and we could probably go find a bunch of Terry Rozier clips. Now that we know for sure that this guy's out there like, hey, take the under on me tonight. I'm going to go out with an injury. Letting people know it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to get what I'm supposed to get because he's good enough to do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fake an injury and be done for the game. But the clip that we just showed wasn't that game that he got convicted on.
That's him playing for the Heat.
But that game, obviously he was betting on something on there. This wasn't the injury game. This was just, we gotta cover some ground and make some turnovers and whatever the bet was.
Just throwing whatever the bet was. If it was that if the bet was Terry Rozier has to score 22 points
or 75 turnovers.
Yeah, and he'll have more assists than turnovers. Maybe that's the bet. He'll have more assists than turnovers. And Rozier goes out there and makes 7 turnovers. And he was only supposed to make 2. And people bet that he would only make 2. Or that he was supposed to score 21 points instead of he scored 11.
Yeah.
And he kept throwing the ball away, and he did all kinds of stuff. And he was shooting air balls, wide open threes, and he couldn't even hit the rim. How many of those shots do you not? I can hit a 3. I'm good. If I miss it, I'm going to hit the rim. I'm 63 years old, and I can hit a 3.
Yeah.
You give me 10 threes. This is honest truth. You can walk me out on the court right now at 63 years old and tell me, take 10 shots on 3-pointers. After I've warmed up a little bit. Once I've warmed up a little bit, I'm ready to go. I'm not going to shoot an air ball. If I did, it's 1, and it'd be something weird. 1. If I did, I'm going to hit the rim. I'm probably going to hit 3 shots out of 10.
Yeah.
At 63 years old. Maybe 4. If I'm
I think we got to actually make a video
try
of that.
it. We got to go try. One of these podcasts might be me and you need to go on a court when I get up to Seattle to see you and actually film some footage. And I'm willing to see if I can beat Terry Rozier in a 3-point contest. I think we can play my clips, then show his clips, and then say, Stephen A. Smith, you tell me what's going on.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. Actually, I'm coming out to see you, Pastor, pretty soon.
Yeah,
so
we might.
We'll take a video recording and we'll show that to you.
I'm sure you'll work through this segment and cut out what needs to be cut out. But I'm just saying that was, and I can't believe Stephen A. Smith took this position. No accountability.
Well, the Walt Disney executives told him, the people that cut his paycheck, man, he's not.
Did you look at the other people sitting around the table? They didn't say a word. They didn't know what to do.
Well, he's the head guy, so he's not going to take a fall.
No.
They have already fired everybody else that's ever worked with him. So it's all good.
So they just
it's all chill.
They didn't know how to join in and say, yeah, you're right. They were scared to death because, you're going to go against the president of the United States right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Pastor, we usually cover more sports, but we're not going to, I don't think we need it because this is really the biggest story in sports.
I mean, other than the Colts are winning, Notre Dame is winning.
Colts are winning, Notre Dame's winning, and we have to root for the Toronto Blue Jays
because the Dodgers are looking like they're unbeatable. But I did hear one stat today that you might want to study.
Yeah.
In the history of Major League Baseball, when a team swept 4-0 to get into the World Series, if the team they're playing took 7 games for them to get in, the team that it took 7 to get in has won every time the World Series against a team who got there after sweeping somebody.
All right.
It's never. So if that statistic continues, the Toronto Blue Jays will be the World Series champions.
And I know that you wanted to say that all year.
I've been waiting. And then what happened? Toronto is in the World Series because they won Game 7 and they had to hit a 3-run homer in the 8th inning to do it. And the Dodgers embarrassed the Milwaukee Brewers. So everyone's saying the Dodgers are going to win this. But if you go look historically, never as a team that won 4 straight to get there. But if the other team they're playing took 7 to get there. Now, if they took them 6 to get there, it's different. I'm saying 4-game sweep compared to another team getting in on a 7th game. The team that got in on the 7th game won the World Series every time. It is a statistic today I saw. And if that's the case, Toronto Blue Jays is going to win this thing.
And we know how big of a fan you are of all Canadian teams, Pastor. So let's go Blue Jays.
I'm having a real hard time rooting for Canada against American teams. I'm not against. I like the Canadian people,
but they're playing that team from LA.
I know. So you've backed me into this corner now.
Yeah,
where I have no choice but to root for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Toronto Blue Jays. Let's go.
I have to. I'm rooting for the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'm saying this right now. Mark the tape. Mark the tape. Toronto will win the World Series.
There it is. How many games, though? That's the real question.
They're going to win it in 6.
6. I was going to say that, too.
Toronto's going to win the World Series in 6 games. And I'm going to tell you something else. Showtime is going to have a very bad series.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. He doesn't hit a home run in the World Series.
Oof.
Tell Stephen A. Smith.
So Pastor, let's go back before we wrap up here.
Okay.
Again, there's a link is below to get your tickets for the Darkness Descends webinar. You can get it at paulbegleyprophecy.com. Brandon Biggs, Mike from Around the World is on there. Amit Grenfeld, who's been on the podcast way back.
Way back.
I think episode 3 was on there.
Rabbi Kurt Schneider's on there.
Kurt Schneider's on there. Dr. Joy's on there. BC Begley's on there.
BC Begley's got a great documentary on the history of Halloween.
I'm trying to remember. I have to go binge watch everything. Pastor, you gave an occult one that I was excited to.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good too. It's about 45 minutes, and it's the rituals of occult practices on the rise in America.
Oh, cool.
In the world, but man,
well, not cool, but
it's not
interesting.
cool, but it's very interesting. But it does end in a positive way. So it isn't all dark and doom and gloom.
It's not all doom and gloom, guys. But Halloween is around the corner, so get your tickets, and you don't have to watch Friday the 13th or whatever.
It's Friday, October 31st. This podcast is Halloween.
Oh no, this will be on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this coming Friday is Halloween.
Right.
Yeah.
So get your tickets for the webinar.
Get your ticket. But I wanted to throw some feelers out there and see if anybody cared. So leave a comment, because Pastor and I were talking about doing this. We're thinking about doing a merch line, but I don't know if anybody wants that, right?
So they might not want any of our merch.
I don't know. I'd like to know, because if you want some merch, we can make it.
Like a
So if you look in the right here in this corner, boom. This is not our all-time logo for the Paul Begley podcast.
It's the other side. It's the other side. It's there. It's down. Go down. No, you're too far. You went too far.
Whoa. Oh.
Right there. Take it down.
Boom.
Perfect. That's the logo.
So, yeah. So that's like our alternate logo with the little aliens, kind of silly.
We got the other one with the hat, with the headset on. We got the other Paul Begley podcast.
Yeah, the regular one we usually have on there too. With no alien on there too. We were thinking about making a hat and then maybe a T-shirt, and it'll come in any size you want. The hat will be one size, but not only for the Paul Begley podcast, also for Paul Begley Prophecy as well. So just some feelers. If you guys want something like that, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
If nobody's interested,
then we
don't
won't
worry about it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Last thing, Pastor, I wanted to go to you for a scripture that you may have. I don't know if you have it ready yet. You're pretty good on the fly, but I wanted to while you're getting that ready, maybe a topic of American revival, because I wanted to show, and actually Brandon Biggs kind of discusses that too in the webinar.
Yes, he does.
Link. There's a clip here. This is, everybody knows who Joe Rogan is, right?
Yes.
And he's starting to come around to, it sounds like he's starting to go to church to kind of understand what's happening. So I wanted to show this clip while Pastor's queuing that up, just so we can kind of see the influence on American culture that we're seeing with this American revival.
I haven't got there, but I have started going to church every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
I do too. It's a bunch of people that are going to try to make their lives better. They're trying to be a better person. And they're trying to, for me at least, the place that I go to, they read and analyze passages in the Bible. I'm really interested in what these people were trying to say, because I don't think it's nothing. There's a lot of atheists and secular people that just like to dismiss Christianity as being foolish. It's just fairy tales. I hear that amongst, self-professed intelligent people. It's a fairy tale. I'm like, I don't know if that's true. I think there's more to it. I think it's history, but I think it's a confusing history. It's a confusing history because it was a long time ago. And it's people telling things in an oral tradition and writing things down in a language that you don't understand, in the context of a culture that you don't understand. And I think there's something to what they're saying. I don't think it's nothing.
No.
I think there's something to it, and there's a reason why it resonates with people. And Christianity in particular is the most fascinating to me, because there's this one person that everybody agrees existed that somehow or another had the best plan for how human beings should interact with each other and behave, and was the best example of it, and even died in a non-violent, didn't even protest, died on the cross, supposedly for our sins. It's a fascinating story. What does it represent, though? That's the real thing. What was that? What happened? Who was Jesus Christ if it was a human being? What was that?
I think that was really Joe Rogan being real right there.
Yeah.
Coming at it from a perspective of probably had no training about Christianity or church or anything in his life. Not really. And just analyzing from who is, I know what he's doing. He's saying, okay, if you think about the whole world, and we've had Gandhi, we had Buddha, we had different spiritual, the Dalai Lama, we have all these different spiritual leaders, and Jesus Christ, let's be honest, his impact on the planet is the biggest of anybody in the history of the world, above everyone. whether you believe in him or not, I mean, you can't deny the fact that this one long, lean Galilean had wisdom and spoke in parables and challenged the system and asked people to look inside their own heart and soul, and went around and eyewitnesses saying that he healed blind eyes, and he raised some dead man after 4 days, and there's so many positivity things, and then he gets killed, and you can say, well, he was killed for political reasons because the Jews were about ready to rise up against the Roman Empire, and this was their savior. You could come up with all kinds of scenarios, but one thing you can't deny is that Jesus Christ existed, and he made an impact. So that's what I think Joe Rogan was doing right there. And then so Joe Rogan is saying, okay, so if that's the fact, then who is this Jesus Christ? I mean,
yeah, great question.
I mean, who is he? This is not a normal person here. Who is this guy? Maybe I should take a look at this. Is he the Son of God? And if he is, I gotta take a double take. I gotta take another. I'm saying that's where I think Joe is coming from, and I think that's where a lot of people are coming from. So I have scripture. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go to where Joe went, and that is, what did Jesus say? One of the most powerful scriptures was Matthew 5 and what's called the Sermon on the Mount. Now, the whole sermon is Matthew 5, 6, and 7. We're not going to read all that. But he starts his message with multitudes of people were sitting on the mountain with him. And his disciples were there, and it says he opened his mouth and he taught them. He taught the whole crowd. And he said to them, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That means blessed are the humble, is what he's saying. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And then he goes on, and he goes on and on. So if you just stopped right there and said, what was Jesus saying? He was saying, well, if you do good things will come your way.
Right.
If you'll forgive people, you will be forgiven. If you'll be the peacemaker, you'll be a child of God. This was the simple do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. The simple golden rule. Just keep doing the right things, and the right things will come your way. And then if you want to see God, he's saying it right here, then be pure in heart, and you shall see God. So you may see God before you ever see God. In other words, you'll see God in humanity. You'll see God in others. And by doing that, you have seen God even before you ever see God on the throne. You'll see God in operation in your life if you can get your heart pure and just treat people right and believe the message of Jesus Christ. And I think that's the simplest way I know how to break this down from the Joe Rogan clip you played.
Yeah.
Who is this guy, Jesus Christ? Just who is he?
I think there's also more to that too, because the passage that you just read, first of all, doesn't get enough credit. Unless you're in the church. That's the only time it gets credit. Really the only time it gets credit, because where Joe Rogan's coming from, and if you guys watch Joe Rogan, I watch it. Not everything's the best thing to watch, but I watch it because it's interesting. He's got interesting guests on there. We've had some of his guests on here as well, fortunately for us. But he's very, actually, I mean, he's really intelligent, first of all, but he's also a very inquisitive kind of guy about everything, and doesn't rule everything out immediately, which is really a strong character trait for people. And I think that we try our best to do it on here. I mean, sure, we joke on, no King's Day and whatnot, but I think that's a really strong character trait, and it's being inquisitive about trying to find truth is very important. And I think that's where Joe's coming from. But also to add to that, his background was not, coming up in church.
No.
And being a preacher's kid like myself.
Yeah.
But my first degree was a bachelor's degree in philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you that I don't know if you read the whole chapter of Matthew, but what you just read, Pastor, that sums up like 4 classes I took for my bachelor's in philosophy of ethics and morality. We could have just read that chapter of Matthew.
And that would have wrapped it up.
But you know which philosopher is not spoken about? JC, Jesus Christ.
No, so you're telling me you got a bachelor's degree in philosophy at a major university?
Yeah, Purdue University.
Purdue University in Big Ten, Purdue University. And you studied all the great philosophers.
Yeah.
That are considered great philosophers. Whether
Socrates, Aristotle, Plato,
all of these guys. Some of the guys I don't like either, like Nietzsche and some of these people.
Yeah, Nietzsche.
Yeah. And if the class would have just said, let's look at the Beatitudes.
Yeah, there was no Bible teaching.
This would have
zero.
This would have been like, okay, maybe some of the most powerful words of wisdom I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ didn't get entered into the philosophy when he was the greatest philosopher of all. Seriously, he was the greatest philosopher of all.
I mean, what you just read right there is, what is it, Matthew 5?
Matthew 5. And I didn't even read the whole chapter. No, I only read a little start. If you read the whole Sermon on the Mount, it will challenge you. I don't care if you've been a Christian 50 years. If you read Matthew 5, 6, and 7, you will be like, oh, I don't know how many times when I read, I can read it right now. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I gotta do better there.
Just chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Pure in heart.
Pure in heart. Just real. Just being really real, being pure about it, not having a judgmental attitude, not being, be kind.
Yeah.
Poor in spirit means to be humble.
Right.
Peacemaker, not agitator. The peacemaker. That's the children of God. The meek inherit the earth. There's just the wisdom in that right there. The philosophy of Jesus Christ. It should have been the number one thing. They should have said, okay, we're going to study all the philosophers, including Jesus Christ, who probably at the end of the day, you guys would have probably all said, it's probably the greatest philosopher of all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing there. I took probably 3 or 4 different ethics classes, and then I even took a class because I didn't know anything about it. I guess sort of the same take as Joe Rogan. I didn't know anything about Eastern religions, so I took that class because I wanted to know about it.
Yeah.
Good philosophy in there.
Yeah.
Sure, you don't. I mean, is speaking about Hinduism, and we read the Gita and Confucianism and yada yada. Buddhism, great philosophers. You don't have to believe everything that they're saying, but some of the morality that they're teaching crosses over as well.
There's some correct philosophy there that would definitely cross over in some of these philosophers. Not everything they say, but I mean, some of it they say would have been basically what Jesus is saying.
Right.
Some of it would have crossed over. But Jesus never said one thing wrong.
No.
Well, I mean, every one of us, we give philosophy, we give our opinions, but there's times our opinions is just dead wrong.
Right. Or yeah, but not only that, but there's also sometimes our opinion. I think our opinions sometimes get in the way of our subconscious knowing of what's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Jesus's philosophy is about.
Yeah. I mean, I remember having conversations with other preachers and people in clergy. And I've heard them say things like, Well, I know what the Bible says about that. Yeah, I understand what the Bible says, but that's just not how I am. And I was like, whoa, dude.
So you're at fault, and you're just going to go with it.
You're just going to go with it because that's just who we are. Someone would say, because you know how us hillbillies are, or you know how we are. Dude, you can't say that. You got to say that is what Jesus said, or that is what the Bible says. I haven't moved up to that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and admit that I'm falling short here in this area, but don't dismiss it and say, I know that's right. I know what it says. I know, but that's just not who we are. I'm not. That ain't me. You can't do that. You can't say that ain't me. You can't say that. You have to say, I'm coming short in that area right there. I got to work on that.
Yeah, you admit to your shortfalls and say that this is something I need to work on.
Then you grow. That's how you grow. But just saying, I don't care. That ain't going to fly. That ain't going to cut it with God. That ain't going to cut it with anybody else. And you sure can't get up there and then tell other people what to do when you're saying you got that attitude. Then don't get upset when the parishioners are saying, I don't care. No, you can't do that. So, I mean, I've heard them do that many times. And it always bothered me bad. It always hurt me. It's like, don't do that. You're letting your own philosophy or your own doctrine get in the way of the truth. You know the truth, but you don't care. That ain't how we are. You can't do that.
Yeah.
The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth, whether you're doing it or not. It's still the truth. Admit it and try to move up to it.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on the Paul Begley Podcast. New episodes will be released every Tuesday on all major podcast streaming platforms. For a video recording of this episode, you can watch and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Paul Begley Podcast. Hey guys, we want you to connect with us. Follow us on X and Twitter at Paul Begley Pod. We'd love to hear your questions you want us to answer on the show. For additional Paul Begley content, go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.org. If you've thought about it, we'll talk about it. Paul Begley Podcast.